Something else that's looking much better. Grab yourself a slice of pizza. The Pizza Hut 2-minute warning is underway. And Brian, take it away and let's talk football.
We are talking football, surrounded by a bunch of Rams who had an unexpected night off tonight. And amongst all these Rams, we find a bear. There's a bear in here. Uh-oh. Well, New Bern was in action tonight, and it's been that kind of season for New Bern so far. They took on Eastern Wayne this evening. Let's check out the highlights as the Warriors would go up 7-0 in this one, and then they would add to it as New Bern gets the pick six. Eastern Wayne takes it the other way, and then the Warriors would go up even more on this touchdown. Yes, they called it a catch and a TD, but New Bern would come back and score as Kamad Scriven scores, but that would be the only touchdown of the game for New Bern as they would fall in this one. And how about this? It's been 1977 since the last time New Bern had 9 losses in a year, but the rebuilding phrase is certainly applicable for this year's New Bern squad as they fall once again. Meanwhile, Havelock squad, well, they're undefeated, the other end of the spectrum. They're going to join us throughout the night, and we've got a special treat for them at the very end as well. So we'll be checking them out in just a few minutes. The rest of the Blitz is coming up in just a few as well. Yeah. Everything get in? Okay, so we need Bojangles. We need Wallace Rose Hill. We need James Keenan. East Duplin. 7:30 for this block. Thank you. Welcome to our makeshift digs. What was the one other one I was looking for? James Keenan, Tiger Stripes up there.
What? His stuff should be in export. Keep an eye on export for him.
Do we have an iPad somewhere? Right here. Okay. Help if it was on. Safari. Of course, thank you.
IFB.
Brian, you've got that all right.
I'm ready for some high school football News Channel 12.
It's the final week of the regular season.
And let's go!
Games postponed by Hurricane Florence finally getting played.
Let's go get our respect, boy.
And we have your highlights on this Week 13 edition of the Blitz. Southwest Onslow and Croatan clashed along the Crystal Coast with the Atlantic 8 title on the line. Kingston tried to finish off an undefeated regular season, but rival Green Central had hopes of knocking the Vikings off their perch. Rivals Wallace Rose Hill and East Duplin had a winner-take-all game, sort of, for the East Central Conference title. It's time to wrap up the longest regular season ever and crown some conference champs.
Blitz starts now!
Here we go, the last night of the regular season, finally.
It's a little delayed. We weren't expecting it to come at this point, but it's here.
Taken forever, but boy, it came down to the wire for the East Central Conference. See, we had East Duplin, Wallace Rose Hill, James Keenan, and Clinton all tied for first place going in.
Brian was trying to explain this to me.
It's
very complicated.
My brain got a cramp trying to figure out how it all was going to work tonight. Let's find out the winners, and then we can explain it to you. Wallace Rose Hill and East Duplin, part of our Barber Hendrick Honda Blitz Premier matchup. And boy, they had a great crowd in Beulahville watching this one as these two rivals go at it day in and day out. Thanks to Chris Miller from the Jacksonville Daily News for getting us this Kanye Roberts touchdown as Wallace Rose Hill took the 22-7 halftime lead, but back comes East Duplin grinding it out. Not a lot of long touchdowns in this one as both teams just ground and pound. Kevin Motsinger says, hey, do your job, thumbs up, including Michael Baisden, the lefty quarterback, makes the move. This is one of the biggest plays as far as yardage you would see all night. That set up his second rushing touchdown, and just like that, they were up 28-7. Old Sasquatch was all bummed out, but in the fourth quarter, here comes East Duplin. Jenkins, the touchdown pass, and that cut it to 28-20, and the kids were feeling it in East Duplin. All they had to do was get the ball back, well, they did with 1:30 to go, but they ran out of juice as that Wallace Rose Hill defense came through and stuffed East Duplin. Wallace Rose Hill, which has been through so much, all the flooding, all the problems, they get the win 28-20 to clinch at least a share of the East Central Conference title, and that means a lot to Kevin Motsinger.
It's really hard to put in words right now. You know, football's been, it's important, but it's been, you know, it's been on the back burner. People use that term, but I mean, it really has been. And so our community just needs a positive. And to be honest, we were at a point with our kids, and it really hit us to Clinton week. Just depression, all the negativity, and these win, lose, or whatever, they just need something positive. And so probably more so than any time in my coaching career, I mean, these kids need something like that.
So they feel really good about it. Look, I know it's all about state championships for Wallace Rose Hill, but for them and the season they've had, really important for them tonight. All right, so the other half of the equation, James Keenan and Clinton, they had to play tonight. And if Clinton could win, they would get a share and the outright #1 seed in the conference. James Keenan having such a great season, but Clinton, the dark horses, they just started stampeding early on. They always have that big fullback that runs people over. And then they would take the lead. James Keenan trying to come back with Mr. Avent at quarterback. He is going to sling it downfield and gets the touchdown. But James Keenan, after that, it would be all Clinton as the dark horses going to get the field goal, and they're going to get the win. And with it, the #1 seed out of the conference, 50-26. So they tie with Wallace Rose Hill. But because they beat them head-to-head 2 weeks ago, 34-30, they get the #1 seed out of that conference. Okay, meanwhile, in the Atlantic 8 Conference, you had Southwest Onslow we thought was going to roll to the easy conference win, right? But all of a sudden, Croatan has just caught fire as of lately.
That run game
4
has
in a
really
row.
just been unstoppable for Croatan.
But would it be unstoppable against the Stallions, who always seem to have it rolling? Here we go. They could get a share of the league title. Southwest, though, they've got that transfer running back from Trask. That would be B.J. Jordan. And B.J. Jordan, the difference again tonight, as he's going to take it all the way. Southwest out to the early 7-0 lead. Took a while to wear Croatan down, but when they did, here comes B.J. Jordan again, just hurtling defenders, and he's going to score.
I think he deserves to be tabbed a nickname at this point.
50-7. B.J. Jordan, Little Mike, I don't know. We'll work on that one. They get the win, so they wrap up the Atlantic 8 Conference title. Richland's trying to wrap up third place, hosted winless Lejeune.
But you know what? We're going to start things off. Lucky #7.
Here come the Wildcats in that single wing, and it's their man, Caleb Blankenship, who's been filling in nicely at quarterback. He goes 40 yards. And hold on, Ariel. Oh, the cannon was actually firing on all cylinders tonight. Emmanuel Whitehead, very disappointed here in E-Money. Come on, E-Money. Come on, E-Money. Well, he'd make up for it in the next play. Is Richlands would get the win over Lejeune by the final of 69-6. They're telling me this is Richland's first back-to-back winning seasons in 23 years. So Coach Boley has done a really nice job down there.
Well, especially when you have that voice. It's so easy to just give in. Well, East Carteret, they traveled to Dixon, and they tried to bolster a spot in the 1A playoffs.
Dixon actually jumped out to the 7-0 lead on this one. All of a sudden, then East Carteret would score, but then here comes Dixon again. Could we have an upset in the making? Well, no, it would not happen, as East Carteret would come back and score big, including on the kickoff. And just like that, East Carteret goes on and gets the win by the final of 57-21. Let's bring in the former East Carteret football coach, Caleb King.
Mariner in the house.
I know you're all about Havelock right now, but
look, sir.
East Carteret gave you your head coaching start. You were there for 2 very successful years. You still see some of those kids out there.
It's great to see them out there doing great. BJ's doing a great job with them.
Do you still know some of these younger guys and keep an eye on them?
Oh, yeah.
As
I
they
mean,
go up to them?
you got Jordan Livingston, those guys out there. They're going to make it happen. They're going to have a good run in the playoffs.
And you don't live too far from them, so, you know.
About halfway in between.
Yeah, all right. Well, the high school season, teams trying to get the regular season all finished up. One of the teams you just beat, Jacksonville. Talk about Jacksonville, as that was the game of the century. And they gave you everything you wanted, and they are a pretty good team as they head into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're doing a good job over there. You know, we're looking forward to another rematch with them.
Here's what happened when they played last night. They tried to rebound from that first loss to Havelock, and they took on the White Oak Vikings. And senior night for White Oak, but Justin Benton, what makes him so good as a Jacksonville quarterback?
I mean, he's so patient with the ball. When he's doing his reads and everything with the option, he does a great job. He really carries out his fakes well, and he's really improved as a passer over this last year.
He had the touchdown pass to Kendrick Blake, and then my man Sinister Finister with the touchdown as Jacksonville won it 42-3. I know the playoff brackets haven't come out yet, but can you see a scenario where you may face them again?
I think it's going to be an Eastern Finals type matchup, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, we'll see if that happens. All right, first, we've got more highlights, and we've got our fans in the stands, our Superior Metal Structure fans in the stands. That's out in your cousin's hometown of Vanceboro. We're going to check out Wes Craven coming up in a few minutes on the Blitz.
Oh.
You know, sponsorship is very important on the Blitz here, so let's turn you this way here. So, Bojangles, thank you to Bojangles for staying with us all year long with all the hurricane and the mess and the changing sets and everything that we've done. So thank you for modeling, Josh. Great job as Bojangles, our big sponsor. Okay, meanwhile. Oh, what was I supposed to say? Jason. Sorry, Jason.
It's okay, you just Bohangles now.
I wasn't updated. At least we got Bohangles right. Kinston tried to finish off an undefeated regular season, but also needed to beat rival Green Central to wrap up the Eastern Carolina Conference title outright. Started the night a game ahead of West Craven, who already wrapped up second place. Look, Green Central was up 24-7 in this one. When Kinston trying to come back in the second half, Kieran Hooker finding Kari Pitts. Kieran Hooker finding Kari Pitts. And then Kieran Hooker finding Kari Pitts. And just like that, here comes Kinston. They're back in the game, and they're feeling like they can pull this one off. Green Central, they fumble.
So close,
Kinston has the remarkable comeback. They do it 26-24 to wrap up an undefeated regular season. Washington and North Lenore wrapping their season up in Wheat Swamp.
The Hawks off to just a very tough first season under Jim Collins, but hoping maybe today against Washington they can make things happen.
Well, they were in it early on senior night, trying to get that win, and so, okay, we're going to celebrate here on this one.
We celebrated with the bench.
Look, it's all about reaching your potential and doing what you can, but here comes Antoine Godley. He's had a pretty good season as Washington's quarterback as the Pan Pack trying to take steps forward. And in this one, they would end up on top. They got a couple of late touchdowns by Godley, and they pick up the win over at North Lenore, 42-25. So North Lenore doesn't get that win, but look, they improved. They were there. Terrence Copper Jr. had a great season for them, but Washington ends up getting their fourth win of the year, so they have something to build on going into the off-season.
Aiden Grifton and South Lenore, well, they played their game on Thursday, but we're going to show it to you again today. And Ray Darden with a touchdown run, making it 14-0 here. Things looking pretty good early on. But Jeremy Joyner's like, all right, guys, Blake McLawhorn is going to go over the top to J.C. Darden, and Kai Jones, obviously, he's documenting that. Marlon Cannon, the option touchdown run. Check this guy out. He's going to find his way into the end zone. 42-0 at this point. It was just Aiden Grifton. All day long, they shut out those Blue Devils. 42-0 is your final.
So Aiden Grifton, next up for them is the playoffs. Meanwhile, we had some non-conference games going on tonight as well, as West Craven wanted to get in one more home game. The gate so important. D.H. Conley trying to get the bad taste out of their mouth of that South Central loss and the post-game fracas that happened. So they played this one.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, happy to be playing. That's right. So they played this one in Vanceboro, Clay Jordan Stadium, and D.H. Conley would take the 28-7 lead. takes it in for the score, but here comes West Craven. You know, we weren't sure if they'd be into this game or not, having just played the other night. But Dontrell Hill from New Bern, the transfer, that gets Tabari Wallace all excited. And then Hill again. All of a sudden, we cut this thing to a one-possession game, and West Craven had a shot going to the air, looking to try and tie it up and force overtime, but it is intercepted by D.H. Conley, who holds on to get the win. 28-20, Conley goes into the playoffs with another victory under the belts. West Craven, look, they're going to get the number 2 seed out of their conference. They should get a home game, we would expect. So we'll see what happens. In the Coastal Plains Conference, rivals Pamlico and Jones Sr. met in Trenton. First Friday night home game. Get a load of this. First Friday night home game of the year for Jones Sr. That's what kind of crazy year it's been. Old George Jones, sing me a country song, Georgie, as he gets the pitch and takes it down. And that's going to set up Pamlico. You know, they love to get down inside that goal line and just do the fullback handoff and plow in for the early score. And Pamlico, they get another big win tonight. They take out Jones Sr. 47-18. Jones Sr., another team that finishes winless. But boy, they did some building. They did some nice things this year. Again, it's about maximizing your potential. The Twins had a good year.
Play with heart.
And now all those guys will be playing basketball, and we'll see what happens next. All right, we still have our bonus game to get to. Let's check out, though, our play of the night as we go back out to Snow Hill or Kinston. Down 24-7, and it's Kieran Hooker to Kari Pitts for the score.
K-Town.
And we'll be right back on the Blitz. Okay, now you want to go outside and do your play?
Yeah.
All right, let's go get them lined up back outside again.
I want my Havelock.
Hang on. You got to do your Tarboro,
highlights.
your highlights here.
Hey, you want to throw it or you want to catch it?
That's a good question. I was going to throw it, but I haven't warmed up this, this gun yet.
We can run you on jet sweep now.
What?
We can toss it to you on jet sweep.
That's true.
How much?
All right.
320?
Yeah, let's do that. I want some good blocking.
Okay.
All right.
We've got 323 in this block. How long your 2 highlights?
No.
Okay. When you get done with South Creek, North Edgecombe,
Okay.
you go out there, and I'll do South Side at North Duplin, and I'll toss it to you.
Okay. And then what are we going to do from there?
That's the
You're
end
going
of
to
the
come
show.
out and end it?
Yeah, I'll come out now.
Okay.
We got 320.
There's the
Our
house.
highlight should take us about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to do highlights here. So open, come back out to us on the 2-shot. Get me a Tarboro helmet. Yeah, there's no sod on this one tonight. We decided to save the time on it.
Technically the Minnesota Vikings.
After Southside, yes, we'll go
It's like
outside
the same
to aerial.
thing, but
And then I'll end up coming out and we'll end the show out there.
Brian, are we using a Vikings helmet or is Tarboro?
No, we should have Tarboro here somewhere. We've been using Tarboro all year long.
Oh, here it is. It was in the back.
Looks just like it.
Yeah.
You sweat like a whole
I know,
bunch of
it's
shirts.
really freaking hot.
Well, it's freaking the anchor. I guarantee that thing's on 75. Okay, well, what have I been saying about Tarboro all year?
Tarboro is not going to win by
Less
than 20
4 touchdowns,
yeah,
28 points.
20 points. Yeah.
Tonight, their biggest test is they took on Southwest Edgecombe in the function at the junction. Would they prove me right, Ariel?
Well, I mean, in all 10 games so far this season, they've had a running clock.
Yeah.
So, complete domination so far is Kamani McDaniels to Keon Caudle. That would make it 21-0 Tarboro. The fans loving it, but of course we have to give some love to the defense. Javius Massenberg with a tackle for loss. Tarboro wins 35-14.
Let me do the math. 35-14.
That's 21.
That's not 28. Come on, Tarboro. You let
21.
me down.
Aw,
They're still going to go into the playoffs, #1 seed, and should be a favorite to win the 1AA state championship. Meanwhile, just up the road in Leggett, North Edgecombe hosted South Creek.
And it would be North Edgecombe to get on the board and tie this game up at 7. Devontae Barnes with back-to-back nice runs, but South Creek cheerleaders still keeping it strong. Darion Green gonna have a big run, and South Creek goes on to win 31-18.
Good road win for Will Harrell and his Cougs. All right, how about our bonus game? Southside and North Duplin made up their annual non-conference rival game as Southside went all the way to facing and check it out as they would score, but they were down too much as North Duplin is going to hold on and they're going to get the win by the final of 21-7. North Duplin with the victory as they go into the playoffs on a little bit of a feel-good winning streak. Okay, Ariel Epstein has decided to, remember last year when she got the concussion? She's decided to redeem herself with the Rams. She's going to run a play for us. Coach King and Ariel, what do you got?
All right, guys, let's go. Okay, let's go, guys. Ready? Who's calling it? I'm going. I'm fine. Go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Serve it.
That's it. She redeems herself. Where's Coach King? Hey, Coach, what was that play called? What was that play called? Epstein, Epstein, K42, Epstein. All right. Anthony, real quick, getting into the playoffs. What do you guys got to do to actually win the state championship this year?
Play together, work hard, keep running.
Quarterback play is important. Turnovers. Can't have them, right? All right, keep an eye on Anthony as he gets ready to try and lead his team to the state championship. He'll be headed to Tennessee after that. No pressure on you, Anthony. Cameron Hutchinson, good luck to all you guys. There's no one. So thank you for watching the Blitz this year. We've got the playoffs starting next week, so stay with us. You scored. Nice.